Hey, what's up, you guys? Today I'm going to be reviewing Firebase. It was directed by Blomkamp and released June 28, 2017. There's definitely going to be spoilers, so make sure you subscribe and hit the notifications because I got so many more videos coming out later this year. So Firebase is a historical science fiction film about the Vietnam War in 1969. It stars people that I don't really know. They're not really main actors. It's an indie film. It's a short film. Specifically, it's about this mysterious events that happen in the jungle, such as human bodies being found with weird kind of alien type of skin underneath the human skin, tanks floating in the air, and then dismantling in the air while mid-flight. Just really weird, strange events happening. Then they find the cause of these events, and it's because of this character called the River God. Now, this movie takes place on a military base called Firebase Tar Heel, which they are set up and rigged to go take out the River God. Who is the River God, you ask? The River God is a Vietnamese farmer whose children and wife were killed in the fuckery of Vietnam, and because of that trauma, the very fabric of his existence started to tear around him. So he became this god. He was a regular guy who became this god through this experience, and now he is just like on some type of evil Neo type of shit. Like he's on a whole nother level, just creating shit, dismantling shit at his will. So that's a cool idea there. So with that said, let's get to the dislikes. I did not like the fact of like rewriting a little bit of history here. Vietnam was a real thing that was fucked up. You know, a lot of Vietnamese soldiers died and a lot of American soldiers died. So I know this is science fiction and this is all just, you know, for fun and whatnot. But some people are going to look at this and be like, oh, Vietnam was just another war, and that's just not facts. The next thing I disliked was the narration. Some of the narration was a little bit corny, just kind of giving away too much what's happening. It's like we're kind of watching what's happening, and it was just like, you know, whatever, could have been a little bit better. Lastly, though, were these zombie soldiers. There were these some type of zombie soldiers. I'm just not into it. I just don't care for zombies. I didn't think this needed it, actually, and they weren't really zombies. They were more or less soldiers that the River God was controlling via, you know, mind control or his raising of the dead, of the type of thing. They were more like soldiers that were dead because of the war, everybody that, you know, dead soldiers that had fought, and he was using them as his own army by raising them up. So, you know, it was just really strange, and it just didn't really care for that part of it too much. But let's get to the things that I did like, and that was actually a lot of things. The CGI was really cool. Just the overall story of this River God character in here and these mysterious events happening in around Vietnam, you know, 1969, 1970. I thought that was really interesting for historical science fiction. Next is the idea of the River God, the idea of this guy who wasn't even a soldier, not even part of the war at all, just somebody, an innocent farmer whose family was killed because of the fuckery of the war and becomes this enraged god. So that's really cool. That's something that I can totally see where he got the idea for that, and it makes perfect sense. Next to the flashback scene, there are soldiers fighting and the River God comes about, and it's a really cool scene. You know, he's like a skeleton, but then he's just like pulling in all this flesh to become this god-looking creature figure. The CGI was done really well in that part, but when he gets to the soldier who's like aiming at him in his sights, he just stops and stares at him, and the soldier is flashed back or flashed forward or transported, teleported to America, back to America, and there are these like kind of futuristic Russian ships and planes landing around him, and he gets set on fire. I think that River God showed him into the future a bit, because the Russian ships were a little bit futuristic, and it didn't make any sense for him to be back there and then be back in Vietnam on fire. So he got transported back to Vietnam through this vision that he was having. So for us, we're viewing a flashback type of scene, but for him, he was literally living it at that time, split second from being in the jungle face to face with River God. So I think that was cool. I think the River God showed him the future possibly, and maybe you guys want to let me know what you guys think about what that scene really meant in the comments. Next is Hines. Hines is the U.S. soldier who is chosen to defeat the River God. They have a whole suit for him, an electromagnetic rifle to apparently defeat the River God. So it's interesting to see what he's going to do. And he also has some type of connection with the River God. There's a scene where he's, you know, in his bunk or something, and he's looking in the mirror, and he sees River God standing behind him in the mirror. So that's really interesting. What type of connection does he have there? They didn't really explain it. It's kind of loose. I like the fact that it's still mysterious. Like I said, it's a short film, so there's not a whole bunch of exposition. You kind of just have to go with what they're giving you. So there's a lot to figure out. I definitely am looking forward to the next volume. If there is a next volume to it, I want to see him use this gun on the River God. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Will he defeat the River God? Will this gun actually work against him? Or will the River God just completely wipe him out, and they're going to have to regroup and find a hole in the plan because he is a god in that fact. You know, will he be an unstoppable god, or will he be a defeatable type of god and be humanized again? Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching my videos. Be sure to subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.